Well, hello there, my friend. Jonathan Doyle with you here. I'm so pleased you stopped by. You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Please make sure you're subscribed. Go and check out all the other links if you'd like to book me to speak. Today, I want to talk to you about a really cool quote that I came across recently that just resonated with me. I think it explains a great deal. You ready? Let's do it. Fear is imagination undirected. How simple is that? That is just so straightforward. Fear is imagination undirected. As humans, we have this incredible capacity for imagination. Think of the amazing things that we can actually do with our imagination, right? We can dream up the most incredible ideas for life, for business, for art, for music, for literature, and we can also make ourselves utterly miserable. Years ago, I read John Milton's famous 15th century work, Paradise Lost. Gosh, I'm going to get some comments here if I got that wrong. Paradise Lost, and there's this famous line in it where he says, "The mind is its own place and can make a hell of heaven or a heaven of hell." The mind can do the most extraordinary things, but how good is this quote? Fear is imagination undirected. So fear happens when this incredible capacity we have to envision the future starts to work against us, and we use that capacity to construct a fearful future state. So I don't know about you, but if you ever lain awake in the middle of the night and you're worried about your boss, your work, your family, your health, something, you lie there and the scenarios in your brain are probably not doing you a lot of good, right? Did those things ever happen? Well, maybe they did, but even if they did, guess what? You survived them. And you may not wish to go back to them, and you may wish they never happened, but you did come through. And yeah, they weren't pleasant necessarily, but maybe you grew in the process. Fear is imagination undirected. So we've got to get better at learning to direct the imagination. And what I teach people all over the world is kind of the same thing over and over again, which is consciousness. You can't change what you're not aware of, right? So you have to catch yourself constantly in the act. Constantly. You got to be like, hang on, what am I doing? And you'll notice that your brain is like a squirrel. It's running up the next tree after the next thing, right? It's like, oh, there we go. It's like rabbits, right? Running down the next rabbit hole. We've got to get really good at catching ourselves in the very act of using imagination against ourselves. In the podcast version below here, if you want to go check out the longer form version of the podcast, I share another quote from Mark Twain who said, "I've had a lot of worries in my life and most of them never happened." You know, we worry, but most of the time what we worry about doesn't happen. So let's cut ourselves some slack. Let's get conscious. Journaling can really help, writing down what you're afraid of, writing down what's really bothering you, and getting much, much better at using the imagination in ways that serve us and don't hold us back. All right. Please make sure you're subscribed. Go check out all the other links if you'd like to book me to speak live. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been the Daily Message. You and I are going to talk again tomorrow.